What's good, YouTube? It's the Phasian here, bringing you another episode of Know Your Ruling. And today I'm going to be doing my ruling on two cards that are pretty heavily used in the meta now. And the first card I'm going to be talking about is Stardust Dragon. And then the second card is going to be from the new set Order of Chaos, and that is Inzektor Hornet. Before I start today's episode, I'd like to give a shout out to a person I met through YouTube. Seemed like a pretty cool guy. His name is Addo for Life 97, and I'll leave a link of his YouTube profile down below. And this guy, he played for 1 year as a kid, but I guess he quit. And then one day he was bored at a friend's house, and they found some cards and just started playing again from there. And he plays his own TG plant build apparently, and he lives in Canada. Now, everyone pretty much knows what Stardust Dragon does, but just to reiterate its effect, it reads, you contribute this card to negate the activation of a spell, trap, or effect monster's effect that destroys a card or cards on the field, and destroy that card. If you negate the effect this way, you can special summon this card from your graveyard during the end phase of the turn. However, if Stardust Dragon is not brought out by Synchro Summon and is brought out through Starlight Road, its effect can only activate once, because when this is special summoned through Starlight Road, it wasn't properly Synchro Summoned in the first place. So, if say this is special summoned by Starlight Road, your opponent activates MST, you go to choose to negate it. It cannot be special summoned by its own effect, because the game mechanic states that cards must be special summoned properly in order to be special summoned again. So, this card, Stardust Dragon, could not be Monster Reborn, Call a Haunted, if it was not brought out properly to begin with. Now, to the second part of my ruling on Stardust Dragon. If Skill Drain is face up on the field, and Stardust Dragon is face up as well, and you decide to activate Mystical Space Typhoon to destroy my Skill Drain, I could tribute off Stardust Dragon to negate the effect of MST, because Skill Drain only negates face-up effect monsters. When Stardust Dragon effect activates, you must tribute it as a cost, making it no longer face-up on the field to negate the effect of Mystical Space Typhoon. So this is a way to get around Skill Drain with Stardust Dragon. And same applies to Thunder King, Ryo, Exiled Force. If Skill Drain is face-up, you can still tribute it off to negate the effect of a certain card, because it is no longer face up on the field in order to activate. However, I must emphasize, really emphasize, that Stardust Dragon's effect activates on the field and not in the graveyard. This is why you cannot debunk Stardust Dragon to begin with. Now, wherever a card activates, it must also resolve. So, in the case of the Skill Drain, Stardust Dragon does activate on the field. However, when it resolves, it's still on the field. It's just no longer face up on the field. That is why it gets around Skill Drain. Unlike Skill Drain, Effect Veiler stops Stardust Dragon unless you're activating priority. So, if I special summon Stardust Dragon and you activate Effect Veiler then Bottomless, or Bottomless then Effect Veiler, you will not be able to stop Stardust Dragon's effect, because I have priority in order to negate Bottomless Trap Hole. However, say I have Stardust Dragon and you have a set Mirror Force, and you activate Effect Veiler. If I attack, you can Mirror Force my Stardust Dragon. And the reason behind this is that Effect Veiler, in order to activate, says select one face-up monster on the field. However, it negates the effect of that monster till the end phase of the turn, unlike Skill Drain, which just says negate face-up effect monsters on the field. So, the difference is between Skill Drain and Effect Veiler is this effect stays active until the end phase of the turn. Even if the monster gets flipped face down or whatever, its effect still is negated, even though it's on the field. Now, so if you activate Mirror Force on my Stardust Dragon and you had already Effect Veiler it, Stardust Dragon activates on the field, it resolves on the field. Even though it might no longer be face up on the field, its effect is still negated until the end phase of the turn. Hence is why you cannot negate with Stardust Dragon if it's already been effect veiled. Now for my second ruling, Inzektor Hornet reads, once per turn you can equip one Inzektor monster from your hand or graveyard to this card. While this card is equipped to a monster, that monster's level is increased by level 3 and also gains the attack and defense equal to this card's attack and defense, which is 500 attack and 200 defense. Now, while this card is equipped, you can send this card to the graveyard to target one card on the field and destroy that card. Now, when Inzektor Hornet is equipped as an equipped spell card to another Inzektor, say like Inzektor Dragonfly, it becomes as an equipped spell card, and when you send it to the graveyard to destroy one card on the field, it goes to the graveyard as a spell card. So this card gets around Dimensional Fissure because Dimensional Fissure only removes monsters that get sent to the graveyard. And when this is being sent to the graveyard due to its effect, it goes as an equipped spell card. Like Stardust Dragon, Inzektor Hornet gets around debunk as well, because Inzektor Hornet, like Stardust Dragon, activates and resolves on the field, so debunk can't negate the effect to begin with because it doesn't activate in the graveyard. However, if Hornet could activate in the graveyard, debunk wouldn't be able to work anyways because it's a spell card. Now, I've seen many posts trying to negate Inzektor Hornet, but none of them work. And to give a few examples would be like Solemn Judgment, Magic Jammer, Legendary, Six Samurai Shein, Naturia Beast, but none of these things actually work. And the reason behind this is, say I have Inzektor Dragonfly on the field. I go to activate its effect to equip Inzektor Hornet. Now, Inzektor Hornet has already been equipped as a spell card, and I have to send it to the graveyard to activate the effect. However, it's already been on the field, so its initial activation has already been activated. And the reason like Naturia Beast or Magic Jammer can't negate it is because they only negate the initial activation of the effect. So when I play MST, as soon as I play it, that's the initial activation of Mystical Space Typhoon, and that's why Naturia Beast or Magic Jammer can negate MST. So then I've seen other posts that are similar to the one I just stated, and they would say, well, why can't you Divine Wrath or Naturia Landois the card? And the simple fact of the matter is, when its effect is activating, it's already counted as an equipped spell card. So it makes Divine Wrath and Naturia Landois ineligible to negate the effect from the start. But that's it for this episode of Know Your Ruling. And as always, I'm always open to questions. If you have questions about this matter, just leave a message below. And if you have a question about an actual other ruling, just send me a message in my inbox, and I will put it on the next segment of Know Your Ruling, and I will give you a free shout out, by the way. And if you guys want to see my last episode, I will leave a link right here in this corner. And as well, if you want to see any of the other episodes of Know Your Ruling, they're always on my channel, as well as my other videos of trade binder updates and deck profiles. But that'll be it, guys, and I'll catch you around. Thanks.